Right, so today we're looking at exercise 3D, which is developing a formula, setting up linear equations with one unknown. So the purpose for doing this is for use in realistic practical scenarios to model different situations. We have used this already in statistics to model relationships between the response and explanatory variables, using the slope and intercept, and in finance to model loans. So we've already come up with equations. We're doing linear, of course, so there won't be any like to the power of 2 or 3 or anything. And we need to be able to set them up to model, to show different information. So how to set up a linear equation? You need to follow these steps. So step 1 says to choose a letter to represent the unknown. Okay, so sometimes it might be looking at, cost, so you would use a C, or it might look at number of babies, so you would use B. But then again, you don't have to, you could use X or Y, it doesn't really matter, you just need to choose a letter. So that's number 1. Number 2 says using the information, you need to write an equation. Okay. So are you adding 2 to every unit for your variable? Number 3 says you can solve the equation using inverse operations. So that's kind of like what we've looked at in 3B and C. And 4 is to answer the question. When you're doing this, so you're going to be given a scenario, so it's going to be a very worded questions that you're going to get. So you need to be able to pick out the keywords and identify the equivalent mathematical symbol. So you could have addition, so obviously you're going to be adding things. So words that could show that would be sum, plus, summation, total, increased by. I won't read them all, but flagful usually means to add something. A fixed fee. So these are all words for addition. For subtraction, you could have words such as minus, reduced, loss, leaking. Multiplication, some words could be the product of something, or per, whenever you see per day, per month, or per something, it's usually multiplication. Something, it could be growing. And then division, so a word or similar words could be quotient, decreased by, fell, lost by rate. Now take notice that in these, some of them are similar. So like for division, decreased by is the same as another word for subtraction. Okay, so you need to be still interpreting the situation or the worded problem before you can specify what it's doing. So here's an example. So we've got a car rental company which has a fixed charge of $110 plus $84 per day for the hire car. The Brown family have budgeted $650 for the hire of a car during their family holiday. How many days can they hire a car? So number 1, it says let's choose a letter. Okay, so for per day, okay, we're going to use D, which it has here. And we've obviously got $650 to spend, so that's usually that's the cost that we want to use. Okay, so fixed charge, you'll notice up here, fixed charge or fixed fee is usually add. Okay, so regardless, the car rental company charges you $110. Okay, and then on top of that, so plus, they charge you $84 per day. Remember that the word per means multiplication. Okay, so they're going to charge you $84 per day. And the family don't want it to cost any more than $650. So if we make this equal to $650, we can actually answer the question of how many days can they hire the car. Okay, So our unknown variable here is D. So we need to find that. So to do that, you can solve the equation by using your inverse operations. So again, we did this in another chapter, so hopefully you can do this by now. Again, you can put it into your calculator and just do the solve function to find D. And you should get D equals 6.428. Okay, so answer the question. It's really important that you answer with a full sentence or like actually acknowledging the whole scenario. So for example, this one, the car hire works on a daily rate of 6.428 days is not an option. Okay. We therefore round down to 6 days to ensure that the Brown family stays within their budget of $650. Okay. So what it's saying is that we can't say that many days because we use days as whole numbers, discrete numbers. Okay, so it's either 6 days or 7 days. If we went to the 7th day, if they borrowed it for 7 days, it would go over the $650. So that's why we're going to round down for this scenario. So therefore, the Brown family can hire the car for 6 days and not go over their budget. Okay, so I feel like for this chapter, writing the equation can be difficult. Okay, you should already know how to do number 3. And number 4, you need to work on writing your answer to the question really thoroughly. All right, so you can go on with exercise 3D to practice and let me know if you've got any questions.